Okay, so today we're gonna do, yesterday we did sales tax using a proportion. Today we're gonna do discount. Remember, sales tax is a percentage that you calculate based on the price of the item or items, and you find that using your proportion and you add it to the price of your items. Today we're looking at discount, and discount is similar in that you're going to find your amount, but discount means take it away. You don't have to pay that part. So we're going to do everything the same except for when it gets to the end, we are going to subtract it away from this ticket price. So we know we want to set this up as a proportion because that's what the standard said. So I'm going to take that percentage and I want to turn it into a fraction, change it into fraction form. So all I do is drop that percent sign and put that number over 100. Just like that. Now I'm going to set up the rest of my proportion. We talked about the top being part of the number and the bottom being the whole number. So for example, we're talking about 25 cents out of a dollar, part of a whole. Well, the $39.99 is the whole price for that beautiful hoodie. So $39.99. So there's our proportion. This is what we want to find out. When we find this out, it tells us what the 25% off is. So I'm going to multiply the 39.99 times 25, and I'm going to divide it all by that 100. Notice in the proportion I've used the 25 and the 39.99. I multiplied them, and I divided by the one number I haven't used yet, which is that 100. And in my calculator, I get 9.9975. Well, we know it when we're dealing with money, we can't use that whole amount. We only want to go to the second decimal place. So I'm going to put a box around what I want to use. Right now I see $9.99. Remember that first place is your tenths place, which is your dimes. The next one is your pennies place, which is your hundredths. Okay, so it's going to be $9.99, or I'm going to bump it up a whole penny, which would bring me to an even $10. And the way I do that is by looking at just the number next to it. If that number right next to it is 5 or bigger, I bump it up a penny. And it is, so I know my discount amount is $10. That means I do not have to pay that $10. So I am going to subtract it away from the original price, and the new price of this hoodie is $29.99. Notice we did the proportion exactly the way we did last week. We did it exactly the way we did sales tax yesterday. The difference is it's giving us the amount that we do not have to pay, so we subtract it away. Let's look at another one. We've got this fancy dancy skateboard. It's $125.88. Well, they're telling me I get to take 30% off. Well, I need to know what is 30% of that amount. So I'm going to set up a proportion. Again, drop that percent sign, put the number over 100. Set up the rest of my proportion. Obviously, the whole price is $125.88. The decimal does matter, $125 decimal 88 cents. There is my proportion. I'm going to multiply the 30 times 125 decimal 88. And then I'm going to divide that by 100. And my calculator says 37.764. It doesn't matter if there's 100 numbers after that decimal. We only want to look at the first two to the right. So we see we have 37 whole dollars and 76 cents. So right now I'm looking at $37.76. To decide if I need to bump it up a penny, I look to this number. This number is not 5 or greater, so that is it, $37.76. So I take the original price. I'm going to subtract away the $37.76, and let's see what I get. There, decimal, 12, that's 15, so that's 182.12. So I didn't have to pay this right here. That's my discount. Yes, it's 30% off, but what is 30% of that amount? And that's where your proportion comes in. It gives you that figure. I'll do one more. So this is a PlayStation 5. It is $499.99. It's 15% off. I'm going to do that first. No matter what that number is, even if there's a decimal in there, you use it. The only thing you're dropping is that percent sign and put it over 100. The price is $499.99. $499.99. I'm going to go ahead and calculate that. 15 times 499 decimal 99. Divide that all by 100. I get 74.9985 in my calculator, because we are using a calculator for this. For speed purposes, we'll practice without one later. Here is my money amount. That's all I want to look at. And I ask myself, is that $74.99, or do I bump it up a penny, which makes it an even $75? This number right here tells me to bump it up. So I get to take away $75. So $499.99 minus $75. The new price is $424.99. So you saved quite a bit of money, 75 bucks. Now remember, when you go to the store and they give you a discount, you still have to pay sales tax on this amount. So remember, if you have a problem that's asking you to take a discount and give you the sales tax, do the discount first. Because the amount they will charge you the sales tax on is only the new price, not the old price. Any questions, send me an email. I hope this helps. There are some practice pages, and then there is a Kahoot. And I will see some of you tomorrow for homeroom, and I will see some of you for a makeup test. Hope this helps.